Today we're going to be talking about how to use equations to find missing angles. There isn't a guided note sheet for this one, so just go ahead and write it on a piece of paper and bring it with you tomorrow. Here's our first example. This is using what we know about exterior remote angles using a triangle. So what we know is that this angle out here has to equal these two angles in here. So we want to set up our equation. We're going to say 60 plus 7x plus 5 equals 20x. We can combine like terms and say 60 plus 5 is 65 plus 7x equals 20x. Next we will minus 7x from each side. Then we have 65 equals 13x. Divide each side by 13. And x equals 5. Now that's just our first step. Now that we know what x is, we need to figure out what these missing angles are. So we're going to plug x back in. So we have 7x plus 5, 7 times 5 plus 5. Then 7 times 5 is 35 plus 5, and that is going to give us 40. So this angle is 40 degrees. Now we can figure out what this angle is because 180 equals 60 plus 40 plus, we'll say y. So 60 plus 40 is 100 minus 100, and y equals 80. So this angle is 80 degrees. Now here's our last angle. We have 20x. So 20 times 5, and that is going to give us 100 degrees. So now we have found all of our angles using this original equation up here. Now we're going to use this one, and this is what we learned yesterday about transversals and parallel lines. These are corresponding angles, so we know they should be equal to each other. So 4n equals n plus 90. We need to solve for n first. So minus n. 3n equals 90. Divide each side by 3. And n equals 30. So now we can plug back in and start finding our angles. 4 times n, or 4 times 30, is going to give us 120 degrees. So now we can figure out all of our other ones. So because these are corresponding angles, this one's also going to be 120. These are vertical, so these are also 120. And because it's a supplementary, we can say 180 minus 120 is 60. And put that all of these are 60. That one wasn't too bad. Now let's try this next one. These are vertical angles, and vertical angles are the same. So we can set this equal to each other. 3x equals x plus 30 minus x from each side. 2x equals 30. Divide by 2. X equals 15. Now we can plug back in and say 3 times 15 is 45. So this is 45 degrees. And because they're vertical angles, this is also 45 degrees. Now to find these two, we're going to look that this is a straight line. So 180 minus 45 is 135 degrees. And now we have filled in all of our angles. All right, now we are looking at alternate interior angles. So these should also be equal, so we can set them equal to each other. 3x plus 20 equals 7x. So minus 3x from each side. 20 equals 5x. Divide each side by 5. X equals 4. So now let's plug it back in. 3 times 4 plus 20 is 12 plus 20, which equals 32. So this one is 32, and this one is 32. And we also know that because they're vertical angles, these are also 32. We can find this angle out right here because it's supplementary. So 180 minus 32 is 148. And then we can fill in the vertical angles here and here. All right. Now, this is a right triangle. So we are going to set it up knowing that 3x plus 2x minus 4 has to equal 90 degrees. Now we can combine like terms and say 3x plus 2x is 5x minus 4 equals 90. Add 4 to each side. 5x equals 94. 94 divided by 5 is x equals 18.8. So now we can plug it back in. 3 times 18.8 is 56.4 degrees. And then plug the next one in. 2 times 18.8 minus 4 is 37.6 minus 4, 33.6. And if you want to check to make sure those equal 90, add them together. 56.4 plus 33.6, it equals 90 degrees, so we are good to go. All right, this is the same thing. If you want to try this by yourself now, you can press pause. But I'm going to go ahead and work it out. So you can either work it out with me or work it out on your own and come back and check the answer. So this is a supplementary angle, which means it has to be equal to 180 degrees. So x plus 4 plus 5x minus 7. Combine like terms, so 180 equals 6x. And 4 minus 7 is negative 3. Now we're going to add 3 to each side. 183 equals 6x. Divide by 6 is 30.5. Now we can plug x in. 30.5 plus 4 is going to be 34.5. And then 5 times 30.5 minus 7 is 152.5 minus 7 is 145.5. And if you want to check that, go ahead and put 145.5 plus 34.5, and you should see that it equals 180 degrees. All right, we're going to try one. This is very similar to what you saw on your quiz, but now we're going to try it with an equation. So, first we can figure out this smaller triangle. So 50 plus 40 is 90. And if a triangle has to equal 180, 180 minus 90, this is also going to be 90 degrees. So now we can figure out this supplementary angle and say 180 equals 90 plus 2x minus 4. So 90 minus 4 is 86 plus 2x minus 86 is 94 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. 94 divided by 2 is 47. So we can plug it back in to get 2 times 47 minus 4. So 2 times 47 is 94 minus 4 is 90. Now you can fill out your vertical angles. This is why this example right here is a perfect reason why you cannot assume that anything is drawn to scale because none of these look like right angles, but mathematically they work out to be, even though we know they're not. So now we need to try this angle. This is 90, and 1 equals 4. This is 50. And then we can figure out this one by saying 180 minus 90 minus 50 is 40. So now we have filled in all the angles. So you should be able to set up equations like this tomorrow during class, and you also have examples on your study guide. So we'll practice this tomorrow. Make sure you bring your notes.